Alright, basically what this piece is about is mental illness, and especially mental illness as it relates to me. Um, I know in society and just from my own personal experiences and seeing other people I care about having to deal with it, there's this taboo around it. It's not something you talk about. Everybody's perfectly okay saying they have to go to the doctor for something, some physical ailment or some physical disease or disorder. They're okay saying that to people in the general public, and people are often sympathetic and wanting to know what they can do to help accommodate those people. But when it comes to mental illness, people tend to shy away from it. The people who have it tend to be living in shame and have this constant feeling like they should apologize for it, and the people who don't have it and have to interact with people who do often don't quite know how to take them. They sometimes think they're faking or think they're just being dramatic or think they're 3 stops past crazy and are just waiting for them to blow up. Um, so this piece that I wrote, I don't really have a title for it. Um, it kind of deals with my own personal experience with it, and what mental illness means to me and what it's meant for my life and the people in it. Um, to a lot of you watching this will be new information for a lot of you. And this is a lot more personal than I usually get on these videos. Usually I just state my political opinions in some piece or my views on something in some piece and I post it and I kind of say, to hell with it. But this one is a bit more personal, and for a lot of you it'll be new information, and for the ones that it isn't, some of you might wish that I hadn't posted it. To you all, I say I'm sorry, but I feel like this is something I needed to do, and I needed to get off my chest. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and start. I daydream about life without depression or anxiety. I wonder how people live without it, how they function, because I've never quite remember a time when I didn't have it. See, anxiety started for me as adrenaline, as a fight or flight response as my biological father raged on. It was a survival skill I learned in the halls of a school where I was a target and the teachers and students alike were the gunmen and their verbal assaults were the bullets. Anxiety was what kept my GPA at a 3.8 because failure was not an option, because failure meant having to stay behind when all I wanted to do was run away. Anxiety was having a plan for everything and having backup plans for my backup plans. Anxiety was the knot in my stomach every day before I clocked into work because I wasn't quite sure what kind of harassment that shift would bring. Anxiety has never left me. It simply evolves. Now it is the rush of new experiences and the panic that comes with the unknown. Anxiety is insomnia as I pace my living room with tears streaming down my face and my lungs gasping for breath they can't quite catch. Anxiety has become a paradox, an adaptive tool that keeps me going, a tool that has been given too much freedom and now causes me to spiral out of control in the quiet stillness of an evening. Depression is a lover I never quite invited into my bed. It's the hopeless ache in my bones and the anger that I can't quite shake it. Depression is knowing the average age for a white woman raised in Kentucky is 79. Depression is knowing that I have 58 years till I reach 79. Depression is being comforted by that number. Depression is hearing people tell me to stop pretending. Depression is hearing people tell me that I'm an attention whore. Depression is hating my own skin and being willing to sell my mind if it means that I can buy an unbroken one. Depression is knowing my parents are embarrassed, even if they'd never say it. Depression is wishing I could be fixed for them. Depression is trying to tell people you're not broken, but I just can't be fixed. Depression is hearing that happiness is a choice, but feeling like it was never really an option for me. Depression is not wanting to die, it's just wanting the peace that death brings. Depression is trying to reassure people that depression doesn't mean suicide. Depression has always been my friend. A friend I never wanted, but one I've had for so long now, I don't know how to live without it. Depression is the medication on my bathroom counter. Depression is not being able to look my pharmacist in the eye because I can't lift my head for the shame that's holding it down. Depression is the tears on my pillow that fall for no discernible reason. Depression is having new meaning to the phrases good days and bad days. Depression is when my biggest achievements are doing the dishes and remembering to pay my bills. Depression. My name is Jessica Lewis. I am 21, a junior in college, and I have a 3.65 GPA. I am on 2 different types of medication. I go to therapy once a week. I take life one moment at a time because any more than that and I would break down. I know I am not what my family would want. They would prefer me to be happy and healthy. I know that because that's what I would prefer me to be, and that's what I would want my children to be. I am 21, and every day I have to remind myself to get out of bed, to take a shower, to get dressed, to eat, and go to work. Some days I laugh. Other days I do nothing but cry. And then there are days when I do both. And I like those days the best, because those days are balanced. I can get an even footing on those days. They're not too much of one and they're not too much of the other. Those are the days when the current doesn't feel as strong. Those are the days when I know I can keep going. So, there's that. If anybody wants to talk or message me, know that my chat box is always open. And I'm posting this also on Tumblr, so my ask is always open. And if you're somebody who does deal with depression, anxiety, or some form of mental illness, feel free to know that I am always here to listen. And if you're somebody who doesn't suffer from one of those and just has questions, I am also free and willing to listen and answer to the best of my ability. So yeah, thanks.